Hi, this is Carla from Juneau, Alaska. Um, I'm back from California, or have been for a couple weeks now, so I thought I would catch you up on what's been going on as far as my cross stitch. Just to let you know, for those of you who have subscribed to my channel, which, oh my God, okay, thank you all for subscribing. I never thought anyone would be interested in anything I had to say or stitch or have in my stash other than my friends, but who doesn't love stash? So, yeah. So last time I talked to you, I had talked about taking this with me to California to work on. That didn't happen. Um, TSA enjoyed looking at it though, um, twice. So when I got back from California, of course, I had to wait a day and, um, to rest and all that stuff. But then I got serious and I finished side two. That was easy, but then I ran out of two of the colors on here. Well, I didn't completely run out. There's only like a smidge left. And then it turns out, with my little group of friends, there are three of us that love the color orange. And originally I was just going to make one for me and one for the woman who created the pattern because she loves orange too. Well, as it turns out, my other friend who lives in Germany, she loves orange. Didn't even think about that, but she loves this so much, I'm going to make another one for her because look at all the real estate. Oop, there we go. Look at all the real estate here. I have room to definitely make two more. And if I had been smarter about it, I would have put these like closer together or something and I would be able to make four. But this pattern is so fun and it's just a real easy stitch. It's beautiful. And I don't know why I haven't finished this yet other than I'm freaking busy, okay? So I finished that when I got back, which, because I hadn't stitched in so long, apparently I was so thrilled to be stitching again. Um, things slowed down a little bit after the big packing because I did do some big packing because I wouldn't allow myself to actually sit down and stitch until, a majority of the stuff was packed. So right now I'm going to say 80 to 85% of all our stuff is packed. You know what? It's probably closer to 90. There's like debris that we got to take care of. And I'd love to get that debris out of the way. That would be lovely, but I need bigger boxes. So anyway, so I finished these. Let me show them to you again because they're so pretty. Doot, there's that. So I'm going to make two more of these. That's the front and the back right here. And make two more of those, and that'll be 3 biscornu right there. And if you're not familiar with biscornu, I will link you to the 2 tutorials that I have that I created to show you how to make a biscornu. And because making biscornus, it's like making a special little jewel. And technically what they are is an oddly shaped pin cushion. Okay, so once you make one, you'll be hooked. I guarantee it. And you'll want to make them all the time because it's like depending on the pattern, you could stitch one up in 2 days. Easy peasy. So that got done. And then I went to work on Wacky Witches and Stitches. And if you're following me on Instagram, you'll know that I got that done. Because when I showed you this last time, the the headstones and the grass, and these 3 dots weren't done. All the stars weren't done. So finish those and then finish that side. This part took me 2 days right there. And then I moved on to this, got that done. And it was at that point that I ran out of Weeks Dye Works coal. The pattern calls for 310, DMC 310, but I didn't want to do the pattern in all DMC with just a couple Weeks Dye Works in there. I exchanged as many of the colors with Weeks Dye Works that I could, just to give it a different edge, I don't know, different look. And I'm very, 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 very pleased that I did that because I took the time to go through and try and match up the colors as best as I could with Weeks Dye Works. And I'm going to say, yay, I'm glad I did that. So I know it's a more expensive route to go, but I am really glad that I did it. So once I made it to here, when I finished this part right here, I stitched that all in one day. Yeah. Well, I think well, no, not in one day. I guess it would be a day. I started in the afternoon and finished at 2:30 in the morning. I was really tired by that time and was going to stop stitching, and then I realized I didn't have any more coal. So I'm sitting here thinking and talking to my girlfriends or chatting with them online, and I'm thinking I've got to have more in there because it always seems to me that I have 10 tons of coal, right? It's like for no apparent reason, there's just coal in random places. But I had, while I was packing and everything, I had actually organized everything. Oh my gosh. I'm organized. My stash is organized. So I opened up the box that I have the Weeks Dye Works in and dug through that frantically, and nothing. So then I had to dig through. Okay, I gotta see if I can do this. Hopefully I can without dropping everything on the floor. Okay, let's see if I can. I'm going to unattach that so you can see. Not only are there boxes behind me, but what is this? Okay, this has to go. This has to go. This has to go. I'm tethered. Okay, so see that mountain there? Okay, and then there's like all this stuff. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's more hideous. Do you see what I mean by debris? So the debris needs to be squared away. Like seriously, big time. And that'll happen this week. I'm confident, or this weekend actually. And because I have to have all that stuff done, otherwise when it comes time to loading up the U-Haul, we won't be following our plan of loading all my stuff in first and then my daughter's in last, so we could empty hers out when we get down to Seattle. Anyway, I'm babbling. So where was I? I was talking about, oh yeah, so I ran out of coal. So I went digging in that pile of boxes that you just saw right there. And I just kind of left it in a precarious way. So I'm sitting here contemplating the coal, and I hear this ticking noise. Tick, tick, tick. Like maybe I had jostled something and a clock was ticking or something. I'm like, there's no clocks in there. I know. This is my stuff. I know. So I turn and I'm looking, trying to find the source of the ticking. And I hear it. And so I stand up, luckily, and move over to my side. And I'm looking, I want to find the ticking because now I'm thinking something is about to fall over, but what exactly is it? And then all these boxes came down, and if I'd been sitting in my chair, I would have been beat up by boxes. So I had to restack everything. Ah, yes, still dorking. Yep. So took care of that, but that was because of that frantic search. You know, I had to find the boxes that had all my patterns in it, um, to go through all of those to see if there was any coal stuck in any of the samplers, anything like that. Didn't find any there. Um, excuse me. So then, so then, you know, I really dug through everything, and then I have the 3 boxes that are sitting right here. The top one has my floss in it because I can't live without floss. And then the one underneath that has the boxes with all the other specialty flosses. And so, you know, there's only so many places I could look, which were 2. And no, to no avail, no coal. So I put in an order with 123. So I got more, I ordered more thread for this. I don't, you know, if you're going to make an order, I could just go down to Joann's and get the DMC for this, but why? I had to make the order worthwhile because if the shipping cost was the same either way, because they're good like that. They're really good about their shipping costs. And so I started out ordering 3 skeins, and then after I'd made the order, I just happened to notice that I had already gone through 3 skeins of coal to get to this point right here. Now the rest of the pattern right through here is like 80% coal. It's 80% black basically. And I'm thinking, well, that's a lot. That's going to be probably a good skein or and a half right there, right? Because it's only the Weeks Dye Works is only 5 yards. You know, I didn't know that. So if I get down here to the bottom, you know, once I get down there, I'm going to need more. So just to make sure that I had enough and then some. Anyway, that was my daughter. So she's getting excited now too. um, anyway, so I had made that initial order with the floss, and you know, when I found the 3, I was thinking, okay, that might not be enough because I only made it this far with the 3. So then I think it was the next day, I put in another order for 4 more. And the funny thing was, the first order got shipped. Didn't I just talk about? No, I didn't. It got shipped, but instead of going from Salt Lake City to Kent, Washington, it went from Salt Lake City down to Tennessee, and then to Seattle, and then to me. But the second order went from Salt Lake City to Kent, Washington, up to Juneau, up here to Juneau, right here. So anyway, so I got this order the other day. I had to wait 6 days, I think. Wait, I put the order in on, I am molting. So sad. When did I put the order in? I don't remember. Yeah, it was 6 days, I think, or a week. Anyway, I had to wait a long time, but it's like the next day the second order came in. I got the first order one day, and then the next day the second order came in. So I am flush with coal. So there's that. Also, last time I did Floss Tube, I talked about Christine working on the Mirabilia like a crazy woman. And I'm going to insert a picture of the finished piece right here. And so I had told you last time that, you know, she was almost done with it and would be done like a few days later. And she was. She actually was. So that was amazing. I mean, for a berserker stitcher, oh my gosh. I'm really glad I gave that to her because it came out beautiful. Yes. So there's that. So updates. Oh, um, I will make it down to Colorado and have everything unloaded from the U-Haul before the 15th. Okay, so we should get to Colorado, um, to my son's house, hopefully the 11th or 12th. So that'll give me time to get some things unpacked and get fired up again. And now I don't remember if I said this earlier. I am going to make, for those of you who are subscribed to me, and I really, really appreciate that you do, thank you. I will be posting videos about tiny house living in an RV and stuff like that. So if you're not interested in that and you don't want to watch that, that's cool. Don't watch those. Um, those, you know, I'm doing those for other people who are thinking about doing it. And if you're thinking about doing it, that's cool too. You can follow those as well. So, or just watch them because, you know, it's going to be entertaining. I'm going to video the trip, the road trip that we're going to take down. And so here's the thing, because we're road tripping, we're going to be going on I-90 from Bellevue. We're going to go to Spokane. From Spokane, it's I-90 all the way to Billings, and then we're going to go south on I-25, I think that's what it is. So if you live anywhere between Spokane and Buffalo, Wyoming, send me a message, IM me, you know, find a way, and let me know if you want to come to our campsite, or maybe we could stop and have a meet and greet real quick while we're on our way, because it's going to be a slow trip, and I don't mind stopping, um, you know, for a little bit and meet you and potentially dig through your stash. Sorry. And maybe if I remember to do it, I will look up cross-stitch stores, and if they're close enough to the highway, because my daughter, she gets impatient, and I don't really have a lot of money to spend at this point, you know, on cross-stitch, even though I want to, but it would be nice to see other cross-stitch stores because that is another goal. Besides meeting other stitchers through my travels and everything, I would like to visit more stores because, you know, as Ashley and I have found out, each LNS has a different theme or flavor, if you will. So, you know, one store is like predominantly samplers. That's what you're going to find. Some stores carry a lot of fabric, and then they do the canvas thing. Or like Be Stitched had a wall of those printed canvases, which I personally can't stitch because I can't see, it's too see-through. It's like perforated paper or hard-hanger. Can't I can't see through it. I can't see through it. I can't see to stitch it because the holes are there. They're distracting. Whereas, you know, something like this that's more solid, this is easier for me to stitch on rather than over here, you know, something that has big, huge holes in it. So can't do that. Even though some of those patterns were nice, they were pricey. Anyway, so I would love to meet more stitchers along the way. Um, I do know that sometime in the future there's going to be a trip to Florida, which means I'll be able to see Crystal in Tennessee. I'll be able to see Lisa in Mississippi. That'll be fun. I've never been to Mississippi, so that'll be exciting for me. Tennessee, yes. Mississippi, no. So, yeah, meeting stitchers along the way, that's a big thrill for me. And just to warn you ahead of time, I am a dork 24/7. It doesn't stop. And I try really hard to be a good guest and make your meeting experience as comfortable as possible because, you know, people get nervous. You're meeting a stranger. Yeah, you've seen me on Floss Tube or you chat with me online. Okay, that's not the same thing as in person. In person is completely different. But yeah, like going to Minnesota. I have to go to Minnesota because I want to go to Stitch USA. Oh my gosh. Um, the hipster stitcher, she's been to Stitch USA and she even put a video on it on her Floss Tube. Oh my gosh. Yeah, gotta go there. It is a must. So, yeah, gosh, oh my gosh. Anyway, so that's where we're at with that stuff, and that's where I'm at with my stitching because I'm stitching again. And again, if you know, if you're not interested in, you know, the travel videos or the tiny house living videos or anything like that, you don't have to watch them. You don't. Um, but it is my dream, and you're going to hear a lot about it in the floss tubes anyway. So there's that. I'm sorry if you don't care for that, but I'm thrilled if you do. If it inspires you, that's even better. Or if you just think it's funny because, you know, why would someone do that? I have a lot of reasons, but you know, I know I've explained it before in the past, but it's just my dream. You can't take it with you, so why not do what you want to do now? And I kind of feel like no, I'm not going to keep babbling about it. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Stitching, stick to the stitching because that is my passion as well. I have a lot of passion. I have passion for this. I have passion for this. I have passion for you. And I really think it's worth meeting as many stitchers as possible because think back. A lot of you who are my age, even young girls right now, you know, it's not like you can just, you know, go to the coffee shop and meet a bunch of stitchers. I mean, usually you're only going to meet stitchers at an L&S, and frankly, I don't think there are enough cross-stitch stores in the United States, and I know there are even fewer if you go, you know, out into the world. You know, it's just you're really lucky in Europe if you have a cross stitch store or a needlework store near you. You're really lucky. Um, so yeah, yeah. And you know, I've met some beautiful people around the world. Beautiful people. And I can't wait to go to the Netherlands and to Germany and France and Australia. Canada, I've been in and out of a few times, but just for you Canadians, I will be in Salmon Arm probably for about 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of September. I know Nancy's going to hog me a lot, so if you're anywhere near Salmon Arm, you know, I'll talk more about this later because that's where I'll be, and we'll talk about our cross stitch there. Nancy has beautiful cross stitch. Oh my God. Yeah, she likes the big pieces, so maybe we can get her on the floss tube and we can talk about her stitching and how she started and all that stuff. And then a little interview, you know, that'll be fun. So, gosh. Wow, 25 minutes. Okay, so I'll just cut this now. Let's see. I don't know if I'll have time to make another floss tube before I leave. I might try if I do finish this, because you know I need to brag, and that'll be a little short video, but yeah. Okay, so the race is on, right? Oh, and I'll insert a picture here of the Nerd Central Command, totally empty. It is devoid of life. So sad. So, yeah, gosh. Gosh and stuff. Anyway, you guys, you have a beautiful day, and thank you again for subscribing and watching and leaving your fun comments and your IMs and your PMs and you know your little messages and stuff. I really appreciate that. And until next time, keep on stitching.